There are those who believe that, though not perfect by any means, human beings are intrinsically good and caring beings, predisposed to act cooperatively and to help others. But that ain't what the research shows. The English philosopher Thomas Hobbes argued that humans were savagely self-centered creatures, while French philosopher Jean-Jacques Rousseau argued that people were born good, instinctively concerned with the welfare of others. Spend 10 minutes watching the evening news, and you'll quickly come to the conclusion that there is no shortage of humanity that has given in to mankind's baser instincts. From scammers and hackers to fraudsters and thieves, the electronic superhighway is becoming as frightening as a dark alley. Every technological breakthrough gets co-opted and becomes the next cyber threat. It seems like we humans are more interested in the dark cloud than we are the silver lining. While doing research for this video, I came across an article on fasttimes.com that so hits the nail on the head in terms of what I wanted to talk about that I ended up using it as the basis for creating this video. The article shines some science-based light on some rather eye-opening findings regarding human nature. Turns out, we human beings are not necessarily caring nor compassionate. We tend to view minorities and the vulnerable as less than human. There is also evidence that younger people tend to dehumanize older people.
Okay, boomer.
What's more, this inclination to look down on people begins as young as 5 years old. We experience pleasure at another person's distress. This becomes evident by the age of 4. That sense of pleasure is heightened if we perceive that the person deserves the distress. We believe in karma, assuming that the downtrodden of the world deserve their fate. Research has shown our willingness to blame the poor, rape victims, AIDS patients, among others, for their fates. We are narrow-minded and dogmatic. If people were rational and open-minded, then the straightforward way to correct someone's false beliefs would be to present them with some relevant facts. The 2020 presidential election taught us that people will completely ignore facts that undermine their position. And that when we believe that our opinions are morally superior to others, this further closes our mind to rational discussion, which leads to we are vain and overconfident. Our irrationality and dogmatism might not be so bad if they were married to some humility and self-awareness, but most of us walk about with inflated views of our abilities and qualities such as our intelligence and attractiveness. Ironically, it's the least skilled among us that are the most prone to overconfidence.
What?
We are moral hypocrites. It pays to be wary of those who are the quickest and loudest in condemning the moral failings of others. The chances are that moral preachers are as guilty themselves, but take a far lighter view of their own transgressions.
I have sinned against you, my Lord.
We are all potential trolls. Social media might be magnifying some of the worst aspects of human nature, in part due to the fact that anonymity is known to increase our inclinations for immorality. A research study published in 2017 revealed how being in a bad mood and being exposed to trolling by others double the likelihood of a person engaging in trolling themselves. We favor ineffective leaders with psychopathic traits. It turns out that psychopathic traits are more common than average among leaders. And a meta-study published recently concluded that there is indeed a modest but significant link between higher trait psychopathy and gaining leadership positions, which is important because psychopathy also leads to poorer leadership. We are sexually attracted to people with dark personality traits. So not only do we elect people with psychopathic traits to become our leaders, evidence suggests that men and women are sexually attracted to people displaying the so-called dark triad of personality traits: narcissism, psychopathy, and Machiavellianism. One study found that a man's physical attractiveness to women was increased when he was described as self-interested, manipulative, and insensitive. Sounds like the perfect guy. While these studies don't paint the rosiest picture of humanity, let's not lose all hope just yet. Another set of studies focused on whether or not humans are intuitively cooperative or selfish. These studies, 7 different experiments using over 2,000 participants, examined how well we humans cooperate. The results suggested that humans are not intuitively selfish creatures. But that doesn't necessarily mean that we are naturally cooperative. You see, in our society, cooperation is a behavior that's rewarded. After all, we live in a world where it benefits us to play well with others. Cooperating helps us make friends, gain influence, and find social and financial success. Are we cooperating because it's for the greater good, or because it works to our benefit in the long run? What do you think? Leave a comment down below. The question of whether humans are basically good or bad has been tackled by theologians and philosophers for centuries. Certainly the studies I've mentioned shed some interesting light on human behavior. But for those of us who are working to become better humans, it's clear that only by acknowledging and understanding our shortcomings can we successfully work to overcome them. Sometimes it feels like we're swimming against the current, and we legitimately start to wonder if the outcome will be worth all the effort. Personal growth can sometimes feel overwhelmingly difficult, as if every step is being met with resistance. However, the efforts we put into becoming better versions of ourselves are almost always worth it in the long run. The process of growth teaches us resilience, empathy, and self-awareness. And while the outcome may not always look exactly as we envisioned, the lessons learned and the character developed along the way can prove invaluable. Remember, progress, not perfection, is what truly matters in our quest to become better human beings. Thanks for viewing this video. If you find this type of content compelling, please visit the channel again. I'm Mark Dietrich, wishing you the best as you navigate your journey.
Okay, Boomer.